Hi guys, so today we are going to be talking about the period, specifically the way in which I handle my period every month in a more environmentally sustainable, zero waste way. So I have a couple of products here which I use every month. The first one, I'll just hop right into it, is my Mooncup, which is just a menstrual cup, which I don't have to show you now. I have just the bag that it came in and that I keep it in because I am just at the end of my cycle at the moment, so I still have it in, so I won't be able to show that to you this time, but I will insert a picture here so you can have a look at what it looks like. They're all pretty much the same with different kind of different sizes and different lengths of stem. I would suggest doing your research and seeing which one is best for you or which ones are made locally. I know that the Mooncup is made in the UK, so that's why I chose that one, and it fits perfectly. It's a great fit. So it comes in this little cloth baggie here, which is great. It's obviously like unbleached, eco-friendly, so I love that. So the things I love about the Mooncup is, first of all, it is zero waste, which means that I am not flushing chemical-laden products down the loo every month, multiple times a day, and equally I'm not putting those like chemical-laden bleached materials inside my body, which is really dangerous, really harmful for my body, for my vagina and for the rest of me. And also with the menstrual cup, I am not gonna get toxic shock syndrome, which is fantastic. I also know that my period isn't going to have a weird smell. I think that a lot of people think that the blood in itself smells, which it doesn't. It kind of just smells like blood, like a slight metallic smell that's like very neutral. It smells like if you were to cut yourself, like you wouldn't be able to smell it. That's basically what a period smells like, but because it comes into contact with these products that have all these sorts of chemicals and perfumes added to them, it reacts to the blood and to the vagina, and it creates this awful smell, and that's the fishy smell that people associate with the period. But it's not the period, it's the products that you're using, and it's the pH balance in your vagina that's being completely thrown off, and it's really unhealthy to do that, especially on such a regular basis. So I personally often have quite heavy periods. They've always been really erratic, super irregular. I never know when it's going to hit, and the more delayed they are, the heavier it is, and they are often quite delayed. So if I was to use something like tampons like I used to, I would have to change them probably about every 2 hours, which is a lot. I would probably go through about 1.5 boxes of tampons every month, which is an insane amount. But with the menstrual cup, instead of having to go through tampons like every 2 hours, I will kind of rinse it out once a day. So on the first day, if it's like super heavy, then I'll check after about 4 hours and clean it out and insert it again. And on the second, third, fourth, fifth day, I will just kind of leave it in all day and just change it in the evening because it doesn't fill up all the way. And so that has been a complete game changer for me in terms of going out and doing activities instead of kind of refraining from doing things, because I would be worried that there wouldn't be somewhere to like change a tampon every 2 hours. Now I can just like go as I would any other day of the month, because I can just leave it in all day, or I just check it after 4 hours, which is like nothing. Which also means that, if you guys know, this is my bag situation, so I like to carry a very, very small bag around with me, and I don't want to be like stuffing it filled with extra tampons and pads and all of that stuff that's just going to bulk it out and make it heavier. I don't have to carry anything around with me because it's inside of me, and then I just rinse it out and insert it again, and I don't have to worry about carrying around extra stuff, which is amazing. I know that a lot of people worry about trying the menstrual cup because they think it's a bit awkward to insert because it's different, and it is a little bit different. It's challenging at first if you're used to just pads. If you're used to tampons, it's a little bit easier because you're already used to putting something up there. It does take a little bit of getting used to, but if you're just open-minded to it and you know that it's going to be different, it's really not that challenging. It took me just the first day to get used to it. I inserted it a few times, had a little play around with it, and I was good to go, and I honestly have not experienced any negative effects with it whatsoever. I absolutely am a convert and I adore it. A little tip, if you've tried it and you're not so keen on it yet, there is something that I found that makes it a little bit easier when you're inserting it, to kind of bear down, as if you're like pushing out a wee almost. Just bear down a little bit as you insert it. That'll bring your cervix down, which will make it easier to kind of suction in there. And then once you've put it in, to kind of do the opposite, as if you're like holding in a wee, you squeeze your kegels up, and that'll kind of bring it up into your womb, into your vagina a little bit more, and it'll create a more comfortable seat for it inside. And then when you're taking it out, to do the same in reverse. So you push down, you grab it, you pull it out, and it just, I mean, it takes like seconds. It honestly takes seconds. You empty it, you rinse it out, you fold it in half. If you haven't seen how to insert it yet, I would suggest just looking it up on YouTube, how to insert it. I can't show you because I'm using mine currently, but there are tons of videos out there to watch. And there are different methods, so just try a few and see what works for you. And like I said before, I'm not having to buy boxes and boxes of pads and tampons and all of those products, which is fantastic. I have bought this one product that is incredibly affordable, and that's going to be it for the rest of my life. I think that they say that they last up to like 10 years. So other than just like the one-off payment, it's basically free. I mean, it's super affordable to get one, and then you're done with all expenses. So another thing I have, if you are more used to pads and you're not too keen on having to insert something on your period, if you don't even like tampons, let alone a menstrual cup, I would suggest getting some reusable pads. So I was sent these from a brand called EcoFem. This is the package that they come in, which is great. Again, unbleached, recyclable brown paper, which I will just add to my compost. And then I keep them in this little cotton drawstring bag that I have. So I'll show you now what they look like. They're just these organic cotton pads that have like this little popper on them, which attaches them to your underwear. This is what they look like, just like a normal pad really. And then you obviously bend these through your underwear, clip them on, and then they sit just like a regular pad would. Now these are great for days when I'm not sure my period's going to start. Maybe it's due, but I'm not sure if it's going to come, because like I said before, they're super delayed a lot of the time, and so I'm unsure. These are great to have to just stick in the nighttime in case my period comes through the night. If you regularly have periods through the night but you don't want to be inserting something inside of you, then this is a great way to go as well. If you have super heavy periods and you're not sure whether a menstrual cup would work for you, you're playing around with it still, maybe keep this just as a security measure until you're completely comfortable with it. There are lots of reasons why you would want to choose a pad over something else. So for those of you who would prefer to have a pad method, I would highly suggest getting reusable pads. Now, they are fantastic. You just use them, like bung them in the wash. You can hand wash them. If you needed like a faster turnover, you can bung them in the wash with the rest of your stuff, and it's completely fine. It's clean. Period blood is just blood. I mean, it's not dirty. You just bung it in the wash, it's fine. Now the thing with disposable pads, not these ones that you reuse, the normal ones that you can kind of get from the shop that you just chuck in the bin afterwards, they are not sterilized, so you don't know what is on them. And instead of sterilizing them, most companies will bleach them with chlorine, which is completely toxic, and it produces dioxins, which is so harmful for your body. It actually hinders your reproductive development, and in a lot of cases can cause cancer as well, which is crazy. It's just nuts. It's completely absurd. I mean, it's just, you do not need it. You don't need to do that. Just to bleach something to make it look whiter, and it's just, it causes cancer. Like, that's insane to me. Each disposable pad also takes 800 years to decompose in a landfill. Think of how many pads people go through in one period or in their lifetime, and that's just one person, and there are literally billions of people who are using that, and they take 800 for one. I mean, oh. So it's really simple to just switch to a reusable pad. It's much cleaner, much healthier for your body. It won't throw off the pH balance of your vagina. It won't cause cancer in the long run. There are no harmful side effects. And again, it's a lot cheaper because you're just reusing it. You don't need to buy a new one every time you need a new one. They are super affordable and healthy for you, your body, the environment, your purse, everything. I will of course link below in the description box a link to all of these products that I'm mentioning today in case you guys want to check them out and get them for yourself. So I also just wanted to mention, while I'm talking about periods, the other kind of things that I use around this time of month. So I also make sure that I take my liquid iron around this time of month, because I do find myself getting quite lightheaded, very dizzy around this time of month, and that has to do with me expelling the iron from my blood out of my body. And so I get very dizzy, lightheaded, and so I make sure I replenish with some liquid iron. Also, my periods tend to be those kind of extremely painful, almost bedridden types of periods. They are really painful, and sometimes I can't even get out of bed for the first day. After the first day they're always fine, but the very first day, sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's absolutely horrendous. So to deal with that, I find that the best things to get rid of the pain or to minimize the pain is to go for a little bit of a walk, which is the last thing you want to do when you're in your period. I completely understand that, but having just a little bit of walk, even if it's just around the block or to the park and back, that is the #1 tip I would say for really painful cramps. Even if you really don't feel like it, just go for a little bit of walk. That bit of exercise, for some reason, really helps with the pain. Also, the deep breathing and getting the fresh oxygen in, it really does help. Also, heat is really great for the pain. I'll often have a hot water bottle that I'll place on my stomach. That's really soothing. Also, having a lot of warm drinks. I drink a lot of tea on my period, and that really does help. I'll also add a spoonful of turmeric paste to my tea, which I make at home. You guys have seen it before in previous videos, and I will show you the recipe to that soon when my recipe book, my ebook comes out. It'll be in there. Turmeric is really fantastic. It's an anti-inflammatory, it's a natural painkiller, so I always add a teaspoon of that when I'm particularly in pain, if I've got a headache, if I've got menstrual cramps, if I've kind of got muscle ache. It's really great for any of those things. So that is how I have a zero waste period. I hope that that was interesting for you guys. If you have any questions on anything that I've mentioned, please don't hesitate to ask them in the comments below. I check every single comment and I respond to as many as possible. Or if you have any tips or advice, or if you want to tell me what you do on your period, then please also add that in the comments below. I'd love for this to be like a safe hubbub of safe period talk, period positive community in the comments below. So let's share and discuss ideas with each other, and I will see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.